Hello, thank you for joining me. These videos are for August 2022 using a sidereal zodiac for both ascendants and moon signs. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the months generally speaking and see what's happening in the month of August 2022. Firstly, I use sidereal zodiac. So if you want to know in sidereal zodiac, which is different, it's like 23, 24 degrees behind the Western astrology. So if you wanted to find out how, what your ascendant or moon sign is, you can use a wonderful app, although it's quite complex, called Cosmic Insight. Put your details in and it tells you what your ascendant is and your moon sign. And then you can just watch along, watch both, ascendant for your path and moon for how it feels. I'm also very big on intentions and manifestations. So there are 3 dates in this month of August that you can do that. You can do it on the 5th of the month when moon is in Swati, and then 17th moon is in Ashwini. Swati is in Libra and Ashwini is in Aries, and then again at 31st of the month moon will be again back in Swati. So 3 opportunities to do these. The way I do them, I normally do it on white piece of paper, blue ink, and first of all say gratitude to the universe, and then I write in detail what I want. You've got to be specific, because if you want to say I want a job and then you just, that's it, you want to just like write it down and put it, it's not going to work. You have to put energy towards that. So your energy, what you put energy in is what you manifest. And you got to, so you want to write down what type of job, what sort of progress you want to have, what sort of training, what type of people you want to work with, and just be very specific, salary, location, how much you want to travel, all that kind of stuff. And then write it down and then thank the universe and then leave it in the northwest of your property. That's how I normally do it. So it's really nice to do that and just use very empowering words, because words are, like you say, can you spell that word for me? Spelling, put a spell on the universe. That's what you want to do, manifest really good things. And that's the reason why I always discourage people from using difficult words. You want to use empowering words, positive, abundant words. That's what my teacher always just say, just be abundant. So that will be the way to do it. So that's another thing to just bear in mind for the month. And so I wanted to just say, obviously, we've had since the 16th of July, we've had this opposition where Sun has been in Cancer, and Saturn retrograde has been in Capricorn since the 13th of July. So we have this opposition going on, which is quite difficult, but we're all going through it. So just be aware of yourself, be careful with your dad, and also just bear in mind that this is going to be difficult, but it's only till the 18th of the month, and then after that all will be good. But this is quite a time for governments and politicians and leaders. So we are just kind of disposing of the ones around the world. World is just purging all the people who are not leaders, who are not for the people. So that is what's really happening, and it's going to continue doing that. So watch out for some more happening this week and so forth. Well, it's probably till the 18th actually. So also Rahu, the whole of the month is going to be in Aries. That's the north node of the moon in Aries, and K2 is going to be, or south node will be in Libra. And then we have Saturn in Capricorn retrograde, Jupiter is in Pisces retrograde, so both of them nice and strong in own sign. And we till the 11th, roughly about the 11th of the month, Mars will be in own sign, which is Aries. And what else we have? Sun obviously goes from the 18th, goes in own sign, Leo, so that will be amazing too. So these are the themes. So, but how we start the month for everyone is Mars, Rahu in Aries. Venus will be beginning of the month in Gemini, a friendly sign. Sun will be in Cancer, Saturn in Capricorn retrograde, Jupiter in Pisces retrograde, K2 Libra, Mercury in Leo, and Yeah, and there is also just want to just tell you about the it's obviously a 31-day month. So as I said, there's all these opportunities to you know, manifest things for yourself, etc. And but what I do with each of the ascendants as I do them, somebody did comment about yogas. What do yogas mean? So I'm just going to finish this video and I'll do a very short video on what yogas are in astrology. So I do apologize, but I do have videos. You can go and visit them and they give you much more information. So I'll do that in the next video. And obviously, if you know, you can just skip that bit. I'll put the time in the details below. Thank you very much. Okay, so what are yogas? Yogas are a combination when there's an influence between planets and houses. So normally, obviously, the most beneficial of the kind of yogas are when trinal and angle houses, or the lords of them. By lords, I mean by the lords, but lords are literally the planet that rules that house. There's a combination of them that have some form of influence for each other. So, for example, say if you have Mars. Mars is the first and eighth house ruler for, say, for Aries Ascendant. So when Mars is in conjunction with Jupiter, which rules the 9th and 12th house for Aries, they create this sambandha, this kind of like combination of first and 9th house. First house can be an angle or a trinal house. But for the sake of this, we're going to say it's an angle house coming in connection with the 9th house ruler. So in that case, they're creating a Raja Yoga, because an angle and the trinal house or lords, they've become combined. They can, but I know they rule 8th and 12th house too, but that doesn't matter, because 8th and 12th house, although they are difficult houses, but they don't break any yogas. Only breakage is when 6th house or 6th lord is in is in this combination. So in which case it breaks the yoga, and the fruits of that will come much later, because 6th house is a house that is like upachaya, they call it. It gets better with time. So we get to learn how to manage ourselves, how to deal with obstacles of life. Then you can get fruits from it, from your hard work. So basically, this is what happens. I always look at Raja Yogas, Dana Yogas as well, because these two, Dana Yoga is for wealth, and Raja Yoga is for success. Sorry, I think something happened with my internet then. Yeah, so I always look at those. So those are important. Dana yogas are very important for relationship, because 2nd house is family, 11th house is gain of something, gain of relationship, family, etc. And so trinal houses are 1st, 5th, and 9th houses. Angles are 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th. So these are obviously very important auspicious houses, and any planets that rules them also becomes an auspicious planet, unless if they rule the 6th house, in which case the combination will not get many fruits. So and if you're lucky, that happens in your D1, which is your natal chart, or your D9, which is in astrology. Vedic astrology is very important. That really confirms the actual strength of all your planets. So if they repeat in that, then it means they're very, very successful yogas. And if they repeat in your D10, which is your career chart, then yes, fantastic. They continue those successes into that as well. So this is what I mean. But please look at my yoga. I have Raja Yoga and Dana Yoga videos. I sometimes also say Mahapurush Yoga. Mahapurush again is elevation, success, and accomplishment yoga as well. This is when a planet is a good planet for the ascendant. Say, for example, for Taurus ascendant, what happens is like Saturn rules their 9th and 10th house. So on its own, because it rules an angle and also a trinal house, 9th house and 10th house, if it goes in any house, it's going to, apart from the 6th house, or becomes involved with Venus, because Venus rules their 6th house. Then if it doesn't has a combination with them, but if it goes in any other house, Saturn on its own can create Raja Yoga for them. But if it's in their if Saturn happens to be in their in Aquarius, it will create what is called a Sasha Yoga for them, Mahapurush Sasha Yoga. So this means of, again, elevation, accomplishment, etc. If for example, for Aries Ascendant, what happens if Jupiter is in their 4th house, which is Cancer, and it will be exalted, or if it is in their 9th house, which is their Sagittarius, then it creates a Hamsa Yoga, again, of success, because it's gone into, it's really strong. It's exalted or in own sign. In that case, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn can create these Mahapurush yogas. So please watch these videos about them so you can actually enhance your knowledge of these yogas. Thank you. Hello, this video, sorry, just going to sort this out. This video is for Scorpio Ascendants and Scorpio Moon for month of August 2022 using a sidereal zodiac. So let's have a look at the month and see what's going on. Okay, so here we are. We have your ascendant ruler, Mars, is in your 6th house in Aries, nice and strong. Mars does really well in Aries, and Mars generally also likes to be in the 6th house. That's probably the 2nd place that it does really well. Yeah, so nice and strong with Rahu. So for you guys, the next year and a half, because of Rahu, or the North Node of the Moon, being in your 6th house, it's all about like service, getting your daily routine right, getting the right sort of fitness, nice nutrition, nice sort of healing others too, and any obstacles or litigation, you'll easily overcome them with having both Rahu and Mars there. So they give you the oomph to push ahead. And so that's the situation there. And Mars is also aspecting the 1st house and protecting the 1st house too. It's also aspecting the 12th house. So that you'll be able to overcome any illness really when Mars is there. But just be careful, because Rahu can bring in some new diseases too, so new enemies, that kind of thing at work. And Mars is also aspecting what would be your 9th house, aspecting the Sun. Sun rules is the significator of father. So be aware of your dad's health, because also Saturn is aspecting it too. So make sure check in with dad, send him messages or call him or visit him just to make sure he's doing okay. And Sun is obviously in Cancer, and Sun for you is a 10th house ruler in the 9th house. So that just means that it creates actually for work and everything else, give you success. It creates a nice Raja Yoga. It's also in an exchange with the Moon. So 10th house ruler is the 9th house, and 9th house ruler in the 10th house. This is fantastic for work, respect that you get at work, for education that leads to a nice job, for happiness at work too. It's wonderful. And you have Mercury sitting with the Moon. This, I don't really personally, I think Mercury and Moon is difficult, whether they're together, opposite each other, or Mercury and Moon sign, or vice versa. Just because one is planet of mind and the other one is planet of thinking. So you can overthink, and that can waste our energy, and it could be futile really. So, but equally, this is also 8th house ruler in with the 10th, 9th house ruler. So again, you need to look after your dad's health in that sense. Okay, so we have Venus rules for you 7th and 12th house it's gone into the 8th house. So it could be there are some issues with the loved one, or so there could be some sort of issues there. So you might maybe resolve that, or the relationship, you could just let it go because it's also 12th house ruler. It could be end of a relationship there. And also you've got like K2 in the 12th house. K2 is making you much more spiritual, really encouraging you to let go of things that don't serve you, make you like maybe travel abroad, to go into ashrams, like it's all about spirituality and evolvement of your soul, really. And K2 is also being there. It's obviously faraway lands to taking yourself. I mean, actually, you get a lot of peace by being away as well. So those sort of things are going on with that, whilst Rahu is encouraging you to deal with all things to do with the 6th house. And then you have Jupiter, which is a lovely planet for you, 2nd and 5th house ruler. It's retrograde, but in own sign. So this could be that really encouraging you to spend time with family, children, really sort of be more creative. Maybe you want to start some form of academic education, want to go to family parties, go to the cinema, that kind of thing, and you really enjoy it. And from there, it's aspecting your 11th house too. So when the 2nd house ruler aspects the 11th house, it creates a wonderful Dana yoga of money and wealth, and actually hanging out with good friends, big friends, or elder sibling networks and things will give you lots of happiness too. Saturn for you rules 3rd and 4th house. Is in the 3rd house. So those of you who wanted to move but didn't get the opportunity, you get another opportunity. You probably mostly will find by the next 2.5 years, you probably would want to make a move and change your property, or change the decor in your or change your car. And Saturn is also obviously aspect in the 12th house, means that you probably definitely want to complete something there. And it's aspect in 5th house, so wants you to put effort into your children, education, that kind of thing. It's aspect in the Sun, which is not great on the mundane level. It's very difficult. Sun, Saturn, you could get, the bosses can do our heads in, as can the politician leaders, as they do daily. And so this could be like 3rd and 9th house. So, Saturn kind of restricts your communications and hobbies and things, and maybe traveling, so if you live in Europe, for example, maybe you live in the UK, you normally would go like for days out, or like visit the country like France or something, so it's not so far away. You're not so interested in that. You might want to go abroad, like somewhere further away. So maybe like you want to go, I don't know, say North Africa or Turkey or something like that for your holiday. So that would be more the theme there. And I think that's probably everything. Yeah. Okay, so Mercury is not a very good planet for you. Rules 8th and 11th house, is in the in your sort of 10th house. So it could be that there could be some changes in your work, or changes in your groups of friends as well, because 8th house ruler is in the 11th house. 8th house ruler is in the 10th house of career. Okay, let's start the month now. So we have Moon moves out on the 2nd, moves into Virgo, and again, it's not a very comfortable position for the Moon, because Moon obviously doesn't work so well, so overthinks. But what's happening now? Jupiter is helping the Moon, and they're creating lovely yogas, because obviously Moon rules your 9th house, and 9th house ruler is aspected by the 2nd house ruler. That's a wonderful yoga for money. And also Jupiter and Moon together, they work really well. It's really soothing to the Moon. So all the issues of being in that house, it's actually ironed out because of it. Then we have Moon goes into Swati on the 4th, 5th, and that's one of the first days of the month for your intentions to be put out for the universe to manifest. And then we have Moon on the Ascendant. So this is like obviously debilitated Moon on your Ascendant, ninth house rule in the first. It does also create a really nice Raja Yoga and Dana Yoga too, but nonetheless, it just makes the mind just like, it's you know, when Moon is in Scorpio, it's a controlling Moon, you know. So we can be overwhelmed by our thoughts, which don't really serve us very much. But Jupiter is aspecting the Moon and helping that and creating nice yogas for money and success too. Okay. Now we have Venus moves out of Gemini. Oh, the Sun has moved. Let me just sort that out. Sorry about that. Somebody's trying to. Okay. So yeah, so Venus, which is for you, is your 7th and 12th house ruler, goes from the 8th house into 9th house. So it could be that if you had problems with, you know, with your spouse or loved one, you can actually start ironing that out, really. But remember, Venus is not in a friendly sign, and it's also sitting with the sun, and they're inimical to each other. So it could be that your partner then becomes like a bit like egotistical, I am right, that kind of thing. So yeah, this is could be the theme too. But you know, at the end of the day, it is also 7th house ruler in the 9th house. So we does create a nice Raja Yoga, and it's getting some help from Saturn too. But you know, whenever Sun is with any planet, it kind of overshadows them. There's an eclipse on that. So if you are single and you meet anybody during this time, just be careful. Don't commit to anything. Really get to know them before you know, make sure you're doing the right thing. Okay, so next one. Moon now in Sagittarius for a couple of days. So this is like 9th house rule in the 2nd house. Great for family, parents, money. And Moon in the 2nd house can feel a little bit like an exalted moon. Okay, so we are now on the 11th. We have Mars, which is your 1st and 6th house ruler, goes into the 7th house. Aspects the 1st house, protects there, but also obviously makes one really quite impulsive too. But what it does, it makes you put energy into relationships and your partner and other people. And equally, we now have a situation where we have a full moon occurring in your 3rd house. So it's about travel, your dad, education, higher education, belief system. All of those will be the focus next 2 weeks. Okay. Moon across from Mercury. We just talked about that for 2 days. So we just, although it's quite nice in a sense because Moon has got directional strength in the 4th house. So it's quite nice in that sense. And Mercury is obviously in your 10th house, and Mercury in the 10th house can give you so many skills in your work, and multi-talented, multi-skilled there. But you know, don't overthink things and just enjoy the fact that you got 2 benefics on that axis. So just go with it. And Moon's strong because it's, you know, it's got directional strength. That's amazing. Okay, so Moon is with Jupiter now. So the mind, you know, at work with, you know, your dad could be poorly. Just look after your dad and make sure, you know, you are in contact with that. It's very much the theme for this month, really. Sun goes into own sign, which is lovely and strong as well. Directional strength, own sign. So Sun is also indicator of the soul, confidence, self-esteem, vitality, intelligence, nice and strong for all of us, and no longer getting, you know, drained by Saturn. So this is really, really strong, really being respected at work, really enjoying you're really focused and you know, wonderful in planet of intelligence and confidence at work. It's lovely. And it's sitting there with your 11th house ruler, which is wonderful. It could also be that some things at work changes or you want some changes, but the whole fact that it's no longer being aspected by Saturn is lovely. And Yeah, and so that's nice. And also you got Moon in Ashwini now, so it's a day where you can put, second day of the month, to put your intentions out. Very nice too. And now Moon is exalted, so you got like ninth house ruler in the seventh house exalted. So it's really nice for in terms of like just feeling lucky, you know. This is really nice because not only Moon is exalted, but it's also in an exchange with seventh house ruler, seventh house ruler in the ninth house ruler in the seventh house, nice and strong. So you're feeling good, feeling lucky, enjoying relationship, being with other people, being with your dad. Dads might just like start to feel better, even though Mars is aspecting the Sun. But I think because Sun is strong, you can probably deal with that not too badly. Okay. Right, so Moon, ninth house ruler in the eighth house. Again, you know, again, I just said that, but then look at that, it's just Moon. Luckily, Moon is, you know, just overthinking it a little bit too much. Look after your dad. And here we go. So Moon and Venus together now. So that's a really nice Raja Yoga's created there. And ninth house ruler is also being aspected by fourth house ruler. So this is really nice in that sense. Yeah, so this is really good for indulging with the family or loved one. And Mercury has, I think he did it. When did he do that? Yeah, Mercury on the, might have even been on the 21st. Yeah, Mercury's gone into own sign. Sorry, I didn't say that. So Mercury, like 8th and 11th house ruler in the 11th house, nice and strong. And just means that you're really loving being with your friends. You want to connect with your friends. And look at this, Sun is strong, Moon is strong, Mercury is strong, Saturn, Jupiter, all the planets are lovely and strong. And it just makes us feel quite empowered, really. So particularly the Sun, you know, Sun being strong makes us feel like we got this, you know. And it's got directional strengths too. Fantastic. Okay, and then we have like a new moon occurring in your 10th house. So that's really nice. Create lovely Raja Yogas too. So amazing. Mars is kind of spoiling us slightly because the second house, sixth house ruler aspect in it too. But it could be that your job has got things to do with service or being of service to others too. And look at that, your 10th house being hemmed by two benefics, to Mercury on one side, Venus on the other, Moon also, so really protecting the Sun. Really nice. Moon Mercury for a couple of days in your 11th house. It does create a nice Dana Yoga, ninth house ruler in the 11th house, and ninth house ruler with 11th Lord. Okay, and then we have, I go a few hours forward. Oh no, sorry, that ascendant has moved. But we got another chance of actually putting our intentions out to the universe and manifesting them on the 31st. Make sure you get the times right so you can manifest. Otherwise, have a good month. I'll see you in September. Thank you.